Hey, Frank, did you have an update on LeBron's status for tonight?
He will be a true game time decision. You know, he's been sort of in a pattern of being sort of the morning after games. And, so we had thought that there's a chance that with back-to-backs he would sit out the second night. But, he wants to get on the floor, see how it feels, and make a decision at that point.
So are you back at that of kind of having two game plans, which has happened, I know, before?
Yep.
How does that, without revealing the different, how does that play out, especially with the news that Dwight's not going to be available either?
Yeah, well, we have, we spent a lot of time this morning in the coaching staff meeting just talking about both scenarios. If Bron's out, how do we have to shift, who plays, what's the rotation look like, and, stylistically, what does that do for us in terms of matchups and, who we're going through offensively and whatnot. And if he does play, then we're back to the starting lineup that we've been playing with he and Stanley sort of at the 4-5.
Frank, I guess regardless of if LeBron plays, then what have you seen from Wendel Gabriel in the few minutes that he has played, assuming that he would have to play some more just with Dwight being out?
Yeah, he's got a compelling skill set. Very athletic and long, and can make plays defensively. Rebound a basketball, rim protection, just having a physical presence out there, and energetic youth around LeBron has been a formula that's been successful for us this year. So he's shown a little bit of that early on, and obviously the skill set to roll the basket, but also to shoot the three. Something that's very compelling.
Frank, when Taylor has a typical shooting night, the next time you guys meet with him, have film session, what are those like with him?
Shot selection, and not just, taking some bad shots, but passing up some good shots. Sometimes you pass up a good shot that could get you in rhythm, and, you end up with a worse shot that possession, and, now you're 0 for 1, 0 for 2, or 1 for 3, 1 for 4. And, it's just something that we'll continue to highlight with the young player.
Right, over the course of a long season, sometimes it's just a flush it mentality. I'm curious, being a back-to-back and considering what happened yesterday, were you able to kind of review what happened with your team and
all of our transition defense?
Okay, and was there any of the first quarter clips that stood out in terms of not necessarily even just transition defense, but the energy level, body language that you felt like could have contributed to the way that quarter went?
Yeah, I think more than anything, there was we allowed frustration to creep in. We shot 1 for 10 in the first quarter, and most of those threes were no paint touch threes. Where we don't penetrate the lane first and then play inside out. So they were kind of quick, and obviously we didn't match their energy with Phoenix's defensive disposition. Some of the turnovers we had were just because of their defensive pressure. They got after us, and we didn't handle it well. And the combination of those missed shots and the turnovers, put us at an extreme disadvantage. We didn't look at the sort of the unrecoverable transition defensive plays, because there's some plays that there's nothing you can do about with a certain turnover or a long miss. But there's always fundamentals with regard to matching up and not letting leakers get behind us and leveling off the ball. That you can improve upon, and we're going to need to be better in tonight's game, because this team's number 2 in the league at fast break, number 1 in the league in steals. So what hurt us last night, this is this team's strength. So we hit on that pretty hard today.
Coach, just looking at the entire season as a whole, what has been most frustrating to you? If there's something that stands out specific, whether on the floor, off the floor with the injuries, is there one thing that stands out most to you?
Not one, just too many times where we just get into big deficits. It's just, it takes its toll on your individual psyche and, and the psyche of your group. And you're constantly into trying to push your guys to be better and coaching them hard, but also trying to keep them lifted. You know what I mean? Because, it definitely takes its toll on your psyche when, just the amount of times we've been down 20 plus points this season. It's been very difficult, but, we have shown throughout the year to rally and respond. Not well enough in game, but, coming back with big games, following up some of those situations. And, that's got to be the mindset tonight.
Frank, obviously you guys were giving up some size last night, but especially on some of the defensive rebounding opportunities you guys had last night. What would you make of how guys did or didn't rebound last night against Phoenix?
Yeah, not good enough. But that's not what hurt us, more than anything. I think, a lot of our worst box out possessions were in transition, and that was, again, when we talk about transition fundamentals, one of the biggest recurring themes was when you're trailing the play, if you're not getting a chase down block, you got to find somebody to hit because teams are running and crashing, when we did force a miss, we didn't collect the rebound, or there's a tap out that we didn't get to, those were the rebounding clips that stuck out to me last night, and those weren't really about size. It was just about the random nature of the transition game that we were in, but this is exactly how this team plays. Toronto, like they run and they crash, and so we got to be better in those areas.